Is there a chance that this case could be reopened?
Absolutely.
Major breaking news out of Medina County 3 years after the case was closed.
19 Investigates has learned the Sheriff's Department is once again actively looking into Bryon Macron's case. The local township trustee disappeared back in 2016. Months later, his body was found in a lake.
How he died, of course, remains a mystery, but new questions have just come to the surface. 19 Investigates' Nicole Versansky has the exclusive breaking developments.
Is there new evidence?
There's new questions.
New questions regarding the death of Bryon Macron. For years, investigators have concluded no one else was involved in Macron's death. Could new information reveal something different?
We have to meet with some first responders that were there when he was recovered at the lake.
Was there anything tied to Bryon's body? That is just one of the new questions being investigated.
I think that's the questions we want to look at. Figure out more information from that team that was out there. My question is, if that was the case, why that wasn't shared in 2017?
Bryon Macron, a Lafayette Township trustee, a husband, a girl dad, a Marine, disappeared December 16th, 2016. Inside the town hall, his last known whereabouts, a bloody scene. 4 miles away at Chippewa Lake, Bryon's black SUV parked in the cold, his blood inside, but no sign of the 45-year-old. 2 months go by, and then the discovery.
Saw a little bump in the water up ahead.
A kayaker found Bryon's body in Chippewa Lake. An autopsy revealed no fluid in his lungs, meaning Bryon was likely dead before entering the water. Puzzling to the Medina County coroner.
We don't feel he drowned.
So how would his body have gotten in the water?
That's one of the mysteries we don't know.
Also unknown, Bryon's cause of death, ruled undetermined. He had 6 stab or cut wounds, but the coroner says none of those injuries would have been deadly. However, Dr. Duranick has suggested that hypothermia could have come into play. The Macron case was ultimately closed in 2020.
Nothing has ever identified another individual as being in that building, in that car, or at that scene.
The Medina County prosecutor, the Sheriff's Department, and BCI finding no evidence to indicate anyone else being involved, meaning that Bryon staged his own elaborate death.
No.
Victoria Macron has never believed that.
I said, I know my husband, and I know this is not what you're telling me.
Do you think someone killed your husband?
I do. I believe my husband knew something.
Victoria has been dissecting every piece of the evidence, questioning the investigation, fighting for the case to be reopened.
I fight for him. I fight for him. We had a love like no other.
It was Victoria and her team who brought these new questions to the current Medina County Sheriff.
They raised questions for me. When I say questions enough that I said, we need to find the answer, because I understand why that would be a question for someone else. So that's why we're looking into it.
Sheriff Grice was not with Medina County Sheriffs when Bryon went missing, but the case has his attention, and Victoria is not backing down.
If you think I'm walking away, I'm not, because this is not him, and there would be no reason for him to do this. So that's why I'm so firm in my thoughts that someone did this.
Now the question, was something tied around Bryon's body, weighing him down? Captain Ross says right now there are conflicting reports from first responders who were there when his body was pulled from the water. They are looking into that, and they could be conducting tests similar to a lie detector in the near future.